Now you can talk, Shonda.
Okay, I made 77 calls.
Oh my gosh.
I said I was going to do it. I had to do it. And I have one appointment, and it's actually my appointment is actually tomorrow at this time.
Nice.
Oh, nice
Great.
job.
And actually because the guy lives in Riverdale, and I have a property over there that I have to meet a contractor at. So we're going to meet there tomorrow.
Oh, nice. How does that feel?
It feels really, really good.
So how would you rate yourself?
I gave myself a 4 for that.
A 4? Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I was trying to
Nice.
get 2 appointments, so.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Hey, congrats. Very nice.
Okay, starting up the car now. I'm going on mute.
Okay. Emily, how about you? The last numbers I had for you, I think, was 50.
Yeah, I didn't get 50. I don't think I had 50 left anyway. I think I
Okay.
did about 20, and I still have a couple more on the list, but I don't think I would have hit 50 either way. I got a little better this time. I just talked to someone actually earlier today. She answered the phone. She was nice. She said she's willing to maybe in the future. So I told her I'll send her some information and we'll go from there. And she seemed on
What
board with it.
what were you calling?
Pre-foreclosure.
Pre-foreclosure?
Mhm.
Maybe in the future?
Mhm.
Her future short.
Yeah, no,
Um,
she said she's working with someone to bring the mortgage down and be able to pay it, but I think she was also willing to maybe sell if she can't. So I'm gonna definitely stay on top of her.
please, that you're gonna hear. We've talked about this before, and maybe you've heard me say this or not, but in those particular situations, they're working on it. Of course, they're going to work on it. And if
Mhm.
it was me, I'd be the same way. I'd be reaching out to anybody I could to help me. Okay, but at the same time, the reality is 90 or 9 times out of 10, they're going to have to sell because they couldn't get everything taken care of. Okay,
Okay.
so stay on top of them.
Mhm.
Just reach out. Hey, I'm still here. If I'm kind of help in any way, let me know. Blah blah blah. That type of thing.
Okay, cool.
So how many calls? I just wanted to put it down, Emily, for you. What did you say you think you did?
20.
All right. And how do you want to rate yourself, 1 to 5?
Um, I'll say a 3.
All right. All right. Let's go
Awesome.
through this and then we can get more into detail. Mary, how about you? How are you today, dear? Let's see what I had for you.
I'm just joining from my 2-week hiatus with my mom in Texas. So,
Oh, how did that all go? Everything all right?
well, there's 3 really rough days, but I got home last night and she went into rehab, so she's doing good.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so she's in a good place and it will be good going forward here. So
good.
I'm just gonna kind of observe since I haven't been on with the new group, if that's okay today.
Absolutely. No worries at all. You can just do your goals at the end. How's that?
Okay.
Life kicks in. We understand.
Okay, sounds great.
Loretta, how about you?
Well, I'm coming back from my unplanned 1-week hiatus. I did not get through the whole list yet. I think I've only done about 12. I had to leave messages on all of them. I did get probably about 20 minutes ago a return call from one, so that's a good sign. So I'm gonna call them back after we're done.
Oh, good, good, good.
Oh,
All right.
no, no. While we're on here, you're going to give them a call back.
Ooh, that's cool.
Okay, I've got my work
Not
computer.
right this minute. Let's get through this. But when we get going here, you're going to give them a call while we're on here.
Okay, just so you know, I've got my work computer going too. I do have a day job, so that's why I'm not on camera. I got 2 things going on at once. I
All
couldn't
right.
sleep last night, so yeah.
Understood. Understood.
How many calls do you think you ended up making though? Hiatus and all. I just want to put something down for you.
Made like 12. I think I've still got like 20 something left on the list, and I'm gonna try to finish those by Friday.
Do you want to rate yourself?
What?
Do you want to give yourself a rating?
1 at this point because I'm not doing
Okay.
enough.
I like that honesty.
Work kicked in. I got a new listing last week, just kind of kicked my butt. So
Oh, there you go. There you go. Tabitha, can you talk? I got your message. Okay, all right. Let us know let me see if I had any numbers for you. Did I have numbers for you from last time? 50. Your number was 50. How'd you do with that? Okay, you have about 76. What did you make? It was about 76 total. Okay. Anything happen with that? I reached no one, left 7 voicemails. Okay. And do you want to rate yourself? Missed one callback. Oh, bummer. 4-ish. Okay. Okay. And we've got Nao. Is it Nao or Nio?
Naya,
Naya. Okay. Awesome. How did you do? What do we have for numbers for you? I don't know that I have.
I'd say about 40. I got through 2 of the lists. The third one I was like halfway through.
Okay, so about 40?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened?
A lot of missed calls. I started to leave text messages like you said in the other meeting. So just leaving text message for some of the people to try to see if that worked. No responses. And just a few I'm gonna try to call back. One guy, he was interested, but he had a tenant that was in place that he had offered like the first right of refusal. So just getting back in contact with him. So
Okay. Do you want to rate yourself?
I'd say about a 5.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I have a bell ring. Todd, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Everybody has their numbers in. You're muted, bud.
Sorry. All right. I'm listening to everybody talk. What I'm curious about, the people that you have spoken with, or I'm sorry, let me back up. I've heard about the people you've spoken with. What about the ones you're leaving messages? What message specifically are you leaving on the voicemail? Let's just pick somebody, just speak up. Let's start there.
I'll say something. Usually I'll just have, to be honest, I'm having AI write my voicemails to make sure that they sound right. So I'll just have a script from there and I'll say I'm
Yeah.
calling. I kind of take it from the script of what we should say when they answer, and then I'll put it into words. Do you want me to read?
Yeah, I'd like to know what message, what voicemail you're actually leaving.
Okay, yeah. So one I was leaving today because I was doing a couple calls this morning.
Oh, well,
Hi.
let me stop you.
Yeah.
Who are on this voicemail that you're or message? Yeah,
Oh
unless you,
yeah.
okay.
These are
What are you calling?
pre-foreclosures. Yeah, these today were pre-foreclosures.
Okay, all
My
right.
voicemail would be like, "Hi, this is Emily. I'm a local realtor here in Wayne. That's the town I was calling from. I know this might be out of the blue, but I came across some public info about your property, and I just wanted to reach out. If there's anything I can do to help you, to what you're facing, please give me a call back, and we could talk some numbers." I know it's probably not the best voicemail.
No.
Mine's so much
You
shorter.
say
Yeah, I
again?
figured.
Doesn't say much. I just say, hey, this is Loretta with EXP. I'm calling about your property at 123 Main. Like to talk to you about it for a second. Please call me.
Okay.
That's all I say. I know
If
that's
you, if you haven't spoken with them yet, all right, you don't know the number that you're calling. All right. I mean, obviously you know the number you're calling. You understand what I'm trying to say. You don't know if the other end, they have any interest in that property at all. So when I call them, especially pre-foreclosure, I call them and say, hi, this is Todd, a local real estate agent. I was just reaching out because I'm looking at a property at 123 Main Street, and I think you own that, but I don't know for sure. or do you own this or something like that? However you want to speak. In other words, I'm trying to get to them. I want to speak about that property that I think that you own at 123 Main Street. Could you please give me a call back? I'm not in collections or anything like that. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not in collections. I just like to have a conversation with you about the property. All right. So you're upfront. You're very clear. I'm not collections. I'm a real estate agent. Or somebody there last night was, oh my God, the message they left, it sounded like they were trying to collect a debt. I was like, the way they left it is like it could be anybody trying to,
She didn't have any luck with that call.
yeah, no. But my point is this: you're trying to find out, one, if they own it. Two, you're not there to try to collect anything or anything like that. Now, if you get somebody on the line, all right, one of the go-tos is there might be options for you. Okay. Well, do you know what those options are? And on top of that, if you do know what those options are, do you have a plan or the resources to reach out to them? So I want to know that from you. All right. There are loan modification things. Most people are not going to qualify. Okay. Do you know what, if somebody says, well, what are you going to do for me? Okay, I'm talking to you. You say you might have some resources available to me. What are you going to do? What can you do? Do you know the answer to that? I'm asking.
Are you asking me or everybody?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't have too many answers to that.
Okay.
If they're looking for like lenders or stuff, but if they're selling, I'm not sure like who I would refer them to at that moment, I guess.
But also on that voicemail, we can look at you, run some numbers or something like that. I would never say anything like that. I would
Okay.
never say to them that you know why you're calling. You understand. But at
Yeah.
the same time, you don't want to rub it in their face, or so to speak. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When you understand, I wouldn't say anything about foreclosure or, the only thing I say is, if they ask me, is reaching out. Why are you calling me about this? The reason why I'm calling is that it appears, at least according to the records that I'm looking at, that you might have fallen a little bit behind in your payments, and I'm reaching out to see if there's anything that I might be able to do to help you. Well, what are you going to do for me? Well, how can you help me? Well, there's also all kinds of programs out there. There's loan modifications. There's, whatever, local resources. You can attorneys. Sometimes they have attorneys in most major metropolitan areas that work for NGOs. Okay, and they're pro bono and they assist people in foreclosure activity. Now, a lot of time those slots fill up. They're very busy. They don't have the time to take on super volume. But if you get in good with one of those, you might be able to get some people help, at least if nothing else, to delay the foreclosure process. Okay, just in other words, the attorney's going to drag it out as long as they can. And there's short sales and stuff like that. But make sure you know if you say you can be a resource, then you need to be a resource and know what's going on in your area and find those people that can maybe help, maybe not help. Odds are 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, they're going to foreclosure, period.
Okay. Got it.
Who else? What is your message? Come on.
Hey, it's Shonda. I just used a voice message that we actually had in our group chat. I think Christopher put it in there, but it's hi, my name is Shonda. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm reaching out to you about a property that I believe you own and whatever the address is. And then please call me back at your earliest convenience at my number. Looking forward to speaking with you.
Okay, I like it.
That was in the group chat. So I just conveniently borrowed it from him.
Sure.
I don't know, is there enough information in there?
Well, she did identify herself as an agent. So that's enough. Well, and a
What's the call
voicemail, you
to
don't,
action on that? Other than just give me a call back, did you,
It is a weak call. It is a weak call to action. Maybe I can add something to say I'd like to have a conversation with you about it.
about the property I believe you own it?
Yes, I can change that around a little bit.
well, conversation sounds like you're gonna be talking forever. I'd say,
Okay.
a
Or
few
chat.
minutes, a few
Yeah.
minutes of your time to discuss, maybe something like that. Just a few
Yeah.
minutes of your time to discuss this, your property at 123 Main Street. That I believe you own at 123. I'd like to have a few minutes of your time, to discuss it if possible. Please get back to me, blah, blah, blah.
Hi, Todd. I'm sorry I came in
Got
late.
it. Thank you.
That was going to be one of the questions I wanted to ask about leaving a voicemail. Like, what specifically should be said on the voicemail?
Who are you calling?
I'm calling distressed owners.
I'm sorry, see, who?
Distressed owners.
Oh, distressed, pre-foreclosure, stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, you get the voicemail. Hi, my name is Todd Schneider. I'm a local real estate agent here in town. I'm reaching out to you about a property that I believe you own at 123, whatever. I'd like to have a few minutes of your time to discuss that property. If in fact you have interest or ownership of the property, please give me a call back at 123 Main Street or whatever, you know what I mean. Love to have that conversation. Or no, don't say conversation.
I'd like to chat with you for a few minutes or.
Just a few minutes.
Okay. All
And
right.
then, you know, that'd be leaving you call, all right? You got your lead, you call for the first time. That's day 0, all
Mhm.
right? The way the system is set up, the pipelines are, you know, campaigns. So that's day 0. Day 1 is the next day. So you move that into you left a voicemail, you move it into the active pipeline because you haven't talked to them yet. So then day 1, day 3, and day 5, you're going to get tasks for that in KB Core. Those are tasks. All right. One of them's going to be call them back. One of them's going to be send them a text. One of them's going to be whatever, one of the other two. Because KB Core, unless you pay for the ringless voicemail, it's not going to be that. And I didn't set it up that way because ringless voicemails can get expensive. They're not terrible, but they can get expensive if you do a lot of them. So those are the 4 times. 4 times in 7 days, you're going to actually reach out and touch this person. Okay. Then on day 8, the system is going to take over and start doing its thing, emails, texts, and stuff like that. Okay. So you really want to make it, and when you get, and I know, trust me, this real life. All right. You get the task, it pops up. All right. Day 1, whatever. Okay, it may not, day 1, that day when that task pops up, there's a good chance you're not going to get to it today when it pops up. It might be tomorrow. Okay. So I get that part of it. Okay. This is real life. You got appointments, you got life goes on. Okay. Stuff goes on. Life happens. So those tasks remain there until you clear them. Okay. Because just keep in mind on day 8, something else is going to occur, a text, an email, or something like that. Okay. Does it make sense? Am I confusing anybody?
No. It makes sense.
Okay. But leaving those voice messages, I strongly recommend leaving those voice message. When I leave the second voicemail, all right, when I call them back and leave the second voicemail, you know, it's hey, this is Todd again. I left you a voicemail the other day. I'm just reaching out because about that property I believe you own at 123 Main Street. Would you be kind enough to give me a call back? Either way, so I don't keep bugging you. Okay. In other words, I'm going to keep bugging you if you don't call me back or send me something. Call me, text me, whatever. however you want to word it. Okay. So in other words, when they hear the voicemail or nowadays, they just read it on these things. Everything's switched to where you can read the voicemail transcription as it comes in or shortly after. Oh crap, they're going to keep calling me. Either they're going to block your number or they're going to give you a quick text. I would recommend mentioning you can call me or text me back at this number. All right, a lot of people like texts. Okay, I know I do. Because it just saves time, especially as much information I get as I get in this poor thing all the time. All right. Anything else, ma'am?
I'm just reading Tabitha's message about the texting part. So the texting, we have to send the text, or the system automatically generates the text in KV Core.
You sent it.
We sent
Well,
it.
in that first week, okay, that first 7 days, if you're gonna, the task will be send a text. So
Okay.
that will be you and your phone. Okay. When we get to day 8 in the pipeline, the system takes over after that, and you're not. Now, in that pipeline, just so you know, as it's built out, I think it's for 9 months, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere in that pipeline, there is another task, okay, to actually make another physical call. You see what I'm saying? So that is one of the steps in that pipeline. It is another task.
And can the text be the exact same thing as the voicemail, except in the text form?
Yeah, sure, if you want to. I'd switch it up a little bit, but that's up to you.
Okay.
Oh, you guys, you do know that on those pipelines, you do need to go in to each one of those tasks, especially on text and email. And you do know you need to tailor that to you, right?
Does it say your name now, Todd?
Yes.
You're all Todd's.
Well, emails, I know they say my name, because that's my pipeline. But on the text, I can't remember if my name's, yes, I think my name's on there. So you all need to go in and edit those. Open up the active pipeline, go to the text and just make sure that it says you on there. And same thing with the emails.
I'm actually gonna go put that in the chat right this minute.
I know I've covered this in the past, but I think there was so much going on. I think people were having breakdowns over KB Core.
Okay. I think I might be the only one that really doesn't use KV Core. So everything is new to me.
Oh, it's new to me too. I mean, I know the basics, but I don't use it. I have my own system.
But you at least you have a system you use. I don't. So even when I was calling my for sale by owners, I have a notebook. I literally write the information down and like highlight it. Like I highlight it, like if they show interest, then I'll go back to that. So this is all new to me. So what I've been doing is just the calls I've made. I just I haven't put it in KV Core yet. So
Okay.
that's my issue. Like, okay, so the ones that the number doesn't work at all, neither number works. How do I go in and put it that it doesn't, neither number works?
I was telling everybody, you need to create. You don't have to put any task with it. Just create another category and call it wrong number. Okay. So as you're making your calls, all right, and you realize, oh, I got a bad number. We're sorry. Okay, rather than slow me down, I just take that lead, move it into wrong number, and go to the next lead. And then maybe at the end of the week, I'll go back to my list of my telephone numbers, and I'll go back and research those numbers. And then once I get a new number that's not on the DNC list, then I'll change that number and move it back to the hold. And then I start calling again whenever I get to that one.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm in a groove, when I'm calling, all right, when I'm in the groove, I don't want anything to slow me down. Sorry. Okay. Move that to wrong number. I'll research that later. Boom. Next number. Just keep rolling. That's me. Now,
No, I'm the same way, and that's all I've been doing. But I literally have just been going in order to make sure I can go back and put in, when I figure out how to do it, I can go back in and put in what's going on
Yeah.
with that specific person.
yeah, I go back and research those usually on a weekend when I've got an hour or so, go back, research that, blah, 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 and then get back at it. Change that telephone number from, and, inside the system, and then move it from wrong number back into the queue, the hold category. And when I get to it, I get to it.
Okay, and another, I'm full of questions. Okay, and how do we how do we
We like that.
get the the list every week? Do we have to send you an email, and is it new zip codes or it's the same zip codes?
If you want to target a different zip code, you need to send it. But yes, I did not save all those emails, and that's why I put that in the chat yesterday. Send me your zip codes because I need to pull some new stuff. Now, the system I use on the zip codes, it will not extract. I have to tell it, but it will not extract anything that I have previously pulled out. Okay. But I didn't save your zip code, so I need you all to send those to me to my email.
Okay. Well,
So can you copy me too, which is the EXP BWB? Because I want to track those for you. If he's, I'll
Okay.
put him in your list, so we'll have them.
Yeah, if I pull these leads, once I put the zip code in and I track it, pull the leads out. If I say, okay, extract these leads, but I have the ability to tell it if I've extracted this lead before, don't pull it. But just pull out the new stuff, and it'll do that. So I just didn't save the zip codes. Otherwise, I'd have to go through I don't know how many emails. So if they're at the top of my list, I'll put it in your all's folders this time. Once everybody gets back to me. So.
All right. I don't know if everybody knows that, Todd. I'm gonna put that in the chat too.
Okay. Well, I put it out there yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna do it.
All right, I'm looking here. Okay. Somebody else, what is your voicemail? Or when you get to talk to them, what's your spiel? What's your who are you calling, and what voicemail are you leaving? Come on, somebody.
I'm Nia Jackson with EXP Realty. I'm calling on 123 Main Street. Just wanted to know, like, if this is your property, if you had a moment to chat, just give me a call back or shoot me a text message.
Perfect. Yeah. I like that. It's short and sweet. I think you own it. Blah, 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 blah. And like I said, on the second call that I would leave, or the second voicemail, I always include that same basic message. I left you a voicemail the other day, calling about a property I think you own. Either way, would you give me a call back, so I don't keep bugging you? All right. So that's my action. I'm going to keep bugging you. Something like that. That's the second call. That's great. Okay. Anybody else? .net.
Okay.
That's a common net.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't need to share. I apologize.
Todd, I do have a question for you though. So when you say that you researched the numbers, because I did have some that were like disconnected, or so I kind of just went to the next number. Is there something else we should do?
That's the numbers that we have.
Okay.
It gives a score, 100, 95, whatever the score that it says is associated with that number.
Right.
But just double check, because phone one, you have, it's not on the DNC list, or it is, okay, either way. The second phone number also is it on the DNC list or not? So pay attention. All right, the first number might not be on the DNC list, but the second number might be. So be careful with that. Okay.
That was going to be the next question I have for you. So it might it might have been 4 numbers on there. The first 2 might have been on the DNC, but the third one wasn't. So it was it because what I did was the ones that weren't on it, I took off, and the ones that were, I left on. Like, but is that a good idea, or just if the person's on a DNC one time, just leave it off?
No, if that particular telephone number is not on the DNC list, call it.
Okay.
Yeah, now you could get the previous owner. The first and second numbers are usually the ones you can get a hold. They're the real people, okay. And by the time you get to the third or the fourth number, they might be a previous owner. They could be a relative that happened to live with them for a little while. It could be all kinds of, a tenant, a previous tenant. You don't know what you're going to get.
Okay.
You just don't know. Or it might be somebody's business number, their business line. That happens a lot on those third and fourth numbers. Or their work number, basically, is what I'm saying. So that happens. What else? You're just full of questions. Go ahead.
You know what? Because I am the kind of person so I got the list. They sent me the list on Tuesday, but I just started calling yesterday. I made a few calls only because I was trying to get in touch with loan officers. So I spoke to 3 loan officers, and I asked them questions like, what questions should I ask? The clients, how can I really help them to see what options are available to them before I actually, go with the, foreclosure seems like be your only possible, solution. So yeah, I've been doing that, and I actually have a script that I came up with from all the stuff that they gave me. Can I put it in the chat and you look at it and let me know if it's okay?
Yeah, sure. Great. Open to anything. If somebody comes up with a better mousetrap, that's great.
Okay, I don't know if it's going to send all of it. I guess it's too long. Hold on.
Well, you might have to cut it in half and send half and half.
You know me and computers. So let me. Yeah, it's not gonna let me send all of it. Let me send half. Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Have you looked around in your area? You're in what, NYC?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. I guarantee you that there are pro bono people out there, NGOs, different groups, church groups sometimes, that sort of thing, that help people in these situations. A lot of times there's attorneys. Sometimes, like I said, I think I said this, I may be repeating myself. Sorry, last night it all runs together. There are groups out there that will help them. And a lot of times what they do is they just string the process out so that the people are, have an opportunity to find another place and move out and move on. But there are some times they can actually get some stuff done. Okay. They do have to figure out what they're going to do with the mortgage. They may tack it on to the end. There might be loan mods that they can work with. Government entities sometimes do that. It just depends on what happens in your area. You need to reach out and find those types of people.
See, that's the thing. So the loan officers that I spoke to, they're like, okay, so yeah, a loan modification is available to them, but they have to qualify for it. Like they have to still meet the qualifications for it, regardless of whether they have equity in their house or not. And if they already had a loan modification, they said the odds of them getting another one is slim to none.
No.
But they said something about a forbearance. They might be able to get a forbearance for about 3 months, which means they'll just tack on those 3 payments. They'll have a 3-month repeat basically to try to get their act together. And then they'll tack those 3 months onto the end of the mortgage.
Right.
So so that's, I'm just getting like trying to get stuff to suggest to them as an option before I go with well, it sounds like you exhausted everything. It sounds like, what we have to look, explore now is trying to get your home sold while you still can.
Oh, that good
Right.
for you, Crystal. Good for you. That's great.
Yeah, the best thing to do is get a listing agreement in those situations where, things are a little, you got sheriff's sale coming up, not too far away. Get it listed and then get with the lender and tell them they've got it listed. They might, again, push out those dates sometimes. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just rigid. No, we want it, we're taking it, and that's it. The date is the date. And then but they don't really want it. But believe it or not, in areas where there's a lot of equity, where the people still have quite a bit of equity, and they know, one, they're gonna get paid, and all, then the attorney's fees and all the crap that gets thrown on her, everybody gets paid. Sometimes they'll just go ahead and take it.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends on the lender,
Okay.
it just, I have a few words for that, but I'll keep it clean. Depends on how difficult they are. Okay. So.
So
All right.
what you put in the chat then is,
That's like what I have in front of me if I actually get a live person on the phone and I go through because I have to see it because I'll forget. Like I'll get nervous and forget. It have to be in front of me.
yeah, you'll get it though. You'll get it. It takes some practice.
All right. What else? What other questions, comments? All right. Does everybody have their lists in front of them?
We got a
Tabitha.
group today.
What's going on with Tabitha? You got a problem?
Her mic's not working.
Oh. Yell loud.
Yeah, that'll work.
Aw.
Sarah from Mobile.
Well, let's do. Somebody had to do a return call. Who was it?
Was it you, Emily? No, Loretta.
Somebody had to do a return call. Her son's computer. Don't look around too much on that. You might see some stuff you don't want to see. Somebody had somebody they needed to make a return call.
I think it was Loretta, but she said she was also working her other job too.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's right. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Well, what do you, is there, anything you're struggling with that we can, we can always do, role playing and stuff, but I don't know, we can keep that going, but, is there anything else that's just you're questioning and like, well, how do I do this?
Well, you're actually working it now. So now that you're working it, what struggles, what issues, what problems are you having? Okay. I know if you tighten up the way you speak to people, even leaving your voicemails, okay, you're gonna get more responses. That's a fact. Okay. So, like if you're talking about, hey, I want to run the numbers with you. Somebody said, run the numbers with you. I would never say that until I really get into a really good conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's a conversation down the road. Once you get a hold of them. And keep in mind, especially on pre-foreclosure, somebody's in that type of distress. You've got the denial phase, you've got the different phases these folks go through. But at some point, it's going to become real. And then at that point, you want to be there. All right. Just touching base. If there's anything I can do, send that text. Even if it's not in the pipeline thing, and because you're following it, you're keeping up with things. Oh my God, sheriff's sale. Listen, when sheriff's sale date gets set, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Look, I don't care what's going on. You've got you got a problem coming up. You're getting ready to lose your house. I'm trying to help you. I've been calling you. I'm trying to help you with this and try to get this monkey off your back one way or the other and try to help you. Once that sheriff's sale date is set, don't get me wrong. I'm not rude. Don't take it the wrong way. You understand what I'm trying to say, okay? I'm more direct. You got a problem. You're getting ready to lose your home. I'm trying to help you. I've been calling you. They haven't told me to stop yet. So please reach out to me. I don't know what I can do at this point, but I might be able to help you. If nothing else, I might be able to get you a cash offer and get this monkey off your back and walk away with a little bit of money. All right. I don't mince words when it comes to sheriff's sale. Once the sheriff's sale date's set, we got a limited amount of time. Oh, tired landlords. All right. Who's got tired landlords? Anybody other than Tabitha? I hope that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not rude, but I'm a little more, quote, snippy, if you will. It's like, look, people, you got a problem. All right. This is the real deal. All right. You need to give me a call back. I don't know if I can help you or not, but by golly, call me. Let's see what we can do. Because you're getting ready to get kicked to the curb. Damn it. She's making me laugh.
Loretta had a question,
Where?
and I'm kind of in the chat that I kind of
Oh.
want to question about the answer too. So she was saying that I guess she struggled with the question of how did you get my information? So one of the lenders that I spoke to, they said a good answer is just say that in my recent search you popped up in in my database as someone who's fallen, but my situation falling a little behind on your on your payments, but she was referring it to probate.
Oh, on probate?
Yeah.
On probate, gosh, I don't call a lot of probate. I call some, but bottom line with probate, when you're calling, you're reaching out to the property that I think you either own or have some interest in. And when they say yes, well, you popped up on my my list that I track people with, or not people, track that I keep in touch and track. I realize that it looks like somebody may have passed away in your family, and you have an interest in the property. And I'm just reaching out to see if there's anything that I might be able to help you with. This is a very difficult time for a lot of people. I might be able to help you with some resources or maybe some direction. A lot of people don't deal with this sort of situation very often. If I can help you, I'd love to. And if I can't, I can't. Something like that. You got to tone that down because there is a death. Maybe they passed away 6 months ago and they're, depends on the situation, but you don't know when you call. So I would just, something like that, a property that I either believe you own or have an interest in. Looks like somebody in your family may have passed away. And I reach out to help, and I help people like this in these types of situations. Maybe how, whatever you want to say. You have to tailor to you and your personality. But the bottom line is you're there to help. You have resources. If they need them, you would love to discuss with them about that. And if they don't need anything or anything like that, and say, well, I appreciate your time. Okay. And if they don't tell me not to ever call back again, I may reach out in another 3 or 4 weeks with a text and say, hey, I'm still here. If there's anything I can do to assist you in this time, just let me know. Be happy to help. Something like that. Unless they say the magic words, don't call me again, or, that type of thing. Okay. Oh, divorced couples, yeah. Yeah, divorced couples are tough. I typically try to avoid that. Some of those can be pretty nasty. So, let's see what else we have in here. Somebody asked, happening, I struggle with that. Can you run this or what to say in this case? Hasn't happened yet, but I struggle with my head with the question, how did you get my information? Oh, how do you, oh, um, how did you get my information? How did you get my number? Well, I use a program on the online called LexisNexis. It is a real program, and sometimes I get lucky. It looks like I did. Something as simple as no, I skip traced you and looked you. No, don't say anything like that.
But is that telling them anything? So I got lucky. How did I get lucky? I found you, or
Yeah, I found your number. Obviously, I found your number. I guess I got lucky. If they ask that question. Or there's a thing called People Search, and there's other ones that you might be more familiar with to you. I just say LexisNexis, and it's typically that's the end of it right there. And it is actually a real program. Who else did I miss? I'm on my laptop. I don't have my big old screen, so bear with me. I'm so sorry. And let's see. Tabitha wants to do a role play about vacant properties or tired landlords. All right.
Tabitha,
All
do
right.
you want to be the one out? You probably can't be the one asking, can you?
Who, me?
No, Tabitha.
I don't think she can.
I can't. No, she said she can't.
I would
Okay.
love to hear her opening line though.
Yeah.
Can you type your opening line? Oh, she says she can't. Okay. All right.
She can't talk.
Well,
That's not.
I asked a question and said could you 147, so that's just seconds ago.
I just say I'm Tabitha Huber with EXP in Mobile. If they ask the owner of it, if I ask if they are the owner of XYZ.
Okay. Yeah, to open with a old tired landlord, don't bullshit them. Don't drag them. They get these calls all the time. They are one of the most called people. Just be honest with them, just like you do. Hey, this is Tabitha. And I like that pattern interrupt thing. Hey, this is Tabitha with our local realtor. Before you hang up on me, could I have a few seconds of your time to talk to or tell you why I wanted to call? Or, hey, this is Tabitha, a local real estate agent. I know you're going to hate me, but you know, that type of thing. Or do you want to hang up, or would you give me a few seconds to tell you why I called? You know, permission-based stuff, the pattern interrupt. I know you're going to hate me, that type of thing. Would you give me a few seconds or do you want to hang up? You know, so whatever works for you with
Make the decision there. And if they're a nice person, they're probably going to say, oh no, all right, I'll give you a minute. As opposed to battling them as soon as they come on.
yeah, and but you want to be these folks get called a lot. You want to be straight with them. You don't want to you don't waste their time, you know, this, that, and the other. And when you're calling about a specific property, when you mention a specific property, most of these old tired landlords own multiple properties. All right. When they say no, 123 Main Street, I don't want to sell that. That's a good profit maker for me. Oh, wonderful. But well, before I let you go, do you by chance do you have anything else anywhere else? Needs a little love, a little work? that you want to get rid of, or do you know anybody? Because these investors, there's a lot of investors, they all know each other. At least the local ones around in the neighborhoods, a lot of times they run cross paths. Some of them are investment groups. Oh, speaking of that, how many of you go to meetups? Does anybody go to meetups? All right. Most investors have a meetup once a month in any major city. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She says yes. Go to meetups. There's no probate meetups. It's called the hospital or the morgue. Of course, you could always hang out the morgue, wait for the names to come in, but I don't do that. That's a little humor, folks. A little humor,
Is
dark
there a
humor.
website I would be able to go to figure out where they meet up at? Because I know about there's a real estate mixer that happens like once a month in Brooklyn that when I cannot go to, but I don't know about an investors one.
Oh
Just
God, yeah.
meetup,
Go to
just go to
meetup.com.
.com and look. And also, there's got to be
Okay.
something on Facebook
Okay.
locally. There you go. I found ours on Facebook. I'm sure they're in there too.
Okay.
But also keep in mind, those same investors, they all also might be purchasing. Okay, instead of them selling something, they may want to buy something. Okay, so it's a win-win either way. Make
And
friends.
then they're going to give you their buy box, what they're looking for, and they're going to send you out to look for it, you and everybody else. So
Exactly.
could happen on both sides.
And I don't know how your all states work it, but in my state, they do the sheriff sales on the courthouse steps still. I mean, the bids a lot of them get sent in electronically, but there's a lot of people in there that are just waiting for this. You can go to the sheriff sales and meet people, the investors. All right.
The one
I
that's
met a
happening in
lot of
Brooklyn
investors
happening
going to
today.
that.
There's one
Say
in
again?
Brooklyn today. There's one in Brooklyn happening today that I couldn't make it, but they have one every month, once a month. So next month I'm gonna definitely be at that one.
Go see
See
meet
how it
them.
works.
Say, hey, obviously you're buying, you're looking for something, give me your buy box.
Mm.
And Facebook, yeah, you get into Facebook groups. I don't know about Facebook. I don't know if the other social medias have that or
Well,
not.
probably LinkedIn. LinkedIn's going to have something.
Does LinkedIn have little groups? Sorry,
No, that's a good point.
I don't know. I don't think
They
they
might
have
be
groups.
just individual. Yeah.
Okay. So what are other things? There are groups in LinkedIn, for real.
Mm,
Loretta just posted that.
there we go. Here, my apps, under my apps for business groups. I don't know if
HR recruiting, so I'm either finding you a house or a job.
real estate professionals referral group.
Nice. Did not know. Yeah, hang on. Okay, what else?
We're going to start now that everybody's rolling along and we're getting the gist of all of it. We'll still do role playing when it's needed, but we're also going to bring in educational pieces, just what's going on in the market, things along those lines. Is there anything particular that you would like to learn about? Does everybody feel like they kind of have a grasp on this? Like so far, it's just, some people are just starting, but some have been doing it for a little while. So,
I'm listening, but I'll be right back.
okay. Any thoughts on that? I mean, we're looking at, okay, what's happening in the market. And of course, much on a larger scale than locally, but you know, the people from Express Offers wanted to come in and things like that to talk to everybody. Is there anything in your heads that's going, I'd really like to know about this? Mortgage default predictions. Local US, that's a good idea, Mary. Okay.
I've also been hearing that new construction was up. Not my area, but
Not mine
overall,
either.
I think it was what, February, the stats came in. And then I'm also hearing how crappy the quality of new construction is as well.
Yeah.
I just ran into somebody that has to change out 64 new windows in a year-old house.
You're
Um,
kidding.
So yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, just, you know, some things kind of broad, and you probably can't
Even
get
just
into
market
local for all
stats.
our areas. Yeah.
Mortgage default.
And I don't know,
This
is
is
there,
already-
Todd, are you aware? I mean, is there a rhyme or reason for some of the lenders who maybe the people that did forbearance, that they actually put it at the end of the mortgage versus lenders that didn't do that and they're coming due, so those people are more in crisis, I guess? Is there anything out there about that information? Because I know some people that did forbearance and their lender actually put it at the end of the mortgage. But then, you know, obviously we're seeing a lot of defaults and sheriff sales, and those people probably.
Well, here's what happens. All right, during the mortgage crisis back in 08, 9, 10, 11, all the way pretty much to 13 is when it started kind of really winding out. All right, the folks who went up with all those programs, HAMP, TARP, whatever. All right, and they were tacking them onto the end. 64% of those mortgages wound up back in default within 12 months. Okay, so I'm assuming a similar thing is happening here. Okay, they got behind, they were, you know, lost a job, whatever the case might be, especially during the pandemic and all the crap and all the mortgage moratoriums. Sorry, lost my train of thought. During that period of time, the government didn't let them foreclose on hardly anything unless they had already moved out of the house, just moved on and left it vacant. They were letting them do those. But other than that, they didn't make a payment. There's a lot of people who didn't make a payment 3, 4, right now, 5 years. Well, that's all over with. Now, I do know this, talking to my buddy, right now there are 5.5 to 6 million that are definitely in default. And another 1.2 or 3. So we're talking over 6.5 or so, maybe 7 million. We think that number's actually higher. But let's just go with the numbers that we know. Okay, 6.5 to 7 million people are in some form of default. All right. Now, are they gonna just like during the crisis, they're not gonna let all of these go at one time. It would crater the entire economy. All right, they're not gonna let that happen. All right, it would be awful. Just like it was bad enough back in the day, but it would be really awful if they let them all go at once. So they're gonna come out a little at a time, and how they do it and the rhyme and reason they do it, I don't know. Do they have a magic wheel and throw a dart? I don't know. I have no idea. But they will start coming out. All right. Next, right now, the projections at HUD, and I follow HUD because I do HUD. Right now, the projections at HUD, we're going to have from today, next year, we're going to be 3 times higher already. They bumped that number up from 1.5 times to 3 times higher next year. That's 26. 27, they're projecting double that in 26. Those numbers have already adjusted. So I can tell you right now, there is a lot of foreclosures coming down the pipe. Now, what's happening is for a lot of these, the wholesalers, just like us, we're reaching out to try to get listed, get them cash offer. You know, we're agents trying to get it done. The wholesalers are reaching out right now and picking these things up because most markets still have some equity. The folks have equity, okay, because the market went up so much. Well, those are starting to come down now. Many markets are starting to drop a little bit. All right, so while there's still equity, either the wholesaler, which is going to give them about 65% of market value. Their cash offer is going to be anywhere between 60 and 70%, depending on the property. Okay, period. Minus repairs. That's that formula. Okay. 60 to 70%, unless it's a $500,000 or more, and they may go 70 to 75%. Okay. So as an agent trying to get this thing sold, you have the better opportunity to get the most money for that property over the wholesaler guy or gal. And there's a lot of them out there, and they're doing the same thing you're doing every day. Okay, you have a better option. When they ask you, what can you do for me, especially in pre-foreclosure and stuff like that, all right, I can get you a better deal. Either I can get you a better cash offer, or I can get it on the market, and maybe it won't go because you're short on time on this situation. I can still get you a lot more money than some wholesaler is going to give you. That's your advantage. That's what you sell. Okay. Anyway, you know me, I can go on, but that is the advantage. That's what you can do for them. Well, I got a wholesaler, offer me 250. Well, I'll tell you what, 250. If you want to take it, take it. I think I can get you a 3 or 3 1/4. All right, in a relatively very short period of time. Whatever, you understand. You have to know your numbers. You run the numbers. You check it out. But the bottom line is, most of these banks will slow down, or maybe even stop the foreclosure because you got a listing agreement and you got it on the market and you're trying to get rid of it, and they know they're going to get paid in full. So that's your advantage.
Do we also know, thank you, Todd, for that. Do we also know how many mortgages these days have a second tied to them? I'm just thinking in like the foreclosure.
You'd have to research that. I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know, the primary is easy to find. Secondaries, to my knowledge, we don't have a program other than maybe government statistics. If we can dig into some of those, they might have. I'm sure they do. They spend money on near everything. I'm sure they have I'm sure they probably have those numbers somewhere in a database, but I don't know where to look for. I can use ChatGPT and see if they can find it.
Sure.
My best friend now.
This ChatGPT thing is pretty slick. It actually is.
Somebody said, I'm sorry, I can't find it, but I think I remember. They were asking about what about video texts?
Oh, I love them. I absolutely love them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that's a really good idea. And we've been playing with ways to do that really pretty easily and for free. So we'll actually do a training on that. But what a great thing. Whether it's you make an avatar look like you or whatever, you can write the script, send it as a video.
Are you writing that down?
That's gonna set you apart from everybody else. So we'll go over that. What were you gonna say, Todd?
No, I said, did you write that down?
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff written down. Yeah,
Okay.
When you left, I was asking just that we want to bring in some education as well. You know, now that we're getting a little farther down, and was asking for ideas. So these are some of them. I've got them all written down. This is great.
All right. But the process of him working on tired landlords, okay, we talked about that. Pre-foreclosure, we talked about that. Probate. Examiner wants to get this list. How far do they go into the process? I see video text in here. How far are they into the process? Probate, I don't understand the question, Loretta. Maybe we talked about it a little bit, but the express offers. How many of you are express offer certified? Pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah.
That is a good resource. Okay.
And it's a good thing to know. Yeah.
But I will say, I don't know if I said this the last time or not. But if you get somebody who's real serious and they want to get this property sold and they got a short period of time, let me know, because I've got a program where I can look up the local real estate investors, the fixer flippers, which, like I said, 65%, that's what they're going to pay of fair market value minus repairs. Okay. But also the rental people, the people who own rentals in the local area within quarter mile, half mile, whatever. Typically people who buy and hold and have rentals, they pay a little bit more because they're going to keep it. So I have the ability to look those up and I'm going to pull those out and you can find out who they are and reach out to them. But my best thing to do is, as you run across investors, keep them in your database, create a database for them. All right, what they want, what they're looking for in the area.
And them a CRM. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? I mean, we don't want to keep
Mary
getting
put
more.
in here about insurance prices, roofs, 10 years, HOAs, insurance and stuff like that.
We've been seeing a lot of issues here with HOAs and listings getting canceled because they can't get it together. It's taking months to get the HOA done for the lender to approve. So I don't know, that's probably happening in other places too, but
What do you mean about what's the problem with
seems
the
like a
HOA?
new big topic here.
What's
They're not
going
able
on?
to get insurance. So they've been having to go out and find different policies. And it usually has to do with roofs. And then now they're trying to get higher deductibles for, the HO6 policy.
Oh God, HO6.
And it's, yeah. Yeah, there's one that they have to have I think it's a $25,000 deductible now on their HO6 policy. I think it's just the underwriting with the insurance that's taking so long. I know one of my good friends just lost 2 transactions because it's still going to be another 90 days maybe for the binder to get written. And the sellers aren't going to wait and the buyer's not waiting. So
What do you mean about roofs 10 years?
I can try to find out some more information about that. But in Minnesota, we're seeing that the insurance companies, if your roof is over 10 years old, they won't take you or insure you or exclude the roof, which is ridiculous because they could last 25 years.
That's got to be a local thing, but yeah.
Minnesota's we're the 3rd highest for wind and hail, so
Yeah.
I guess we're getting nailed here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's happening in other places, but it's maybe a topic about
Maybe.
that.
I haven't heard that.
It's happening here in Georgia too, and we actually have legislation that it did get defeated in January, but we're rewriting it and putting it in with something else to take it back to the House. But yeah, they are canceling insurance for roofing based on storms and the predictability of storms. And we're seeing it's gaining legs. So our governmental affairs team is on it.
Well, yeah, but they can limit certain things legislatively, but the insurer can always just leave.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
That's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for investors, the ones that I've had, and I know this from other, insurance brokers, they're making it really tough for the investors to get insurance on their properties.
Bet. Or at some outrageous deductible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that the insurance companies, they were, I know State Farm and Progressive, if I'm not Progressive, maybe, anyway. They were sneaking in where, like, my homeowner's insurance, I got $1,000 deductible. And they tried to sneak in a percentage deductible on me. And when they sent the renewal, and I've been with these guys a long time, and I think they wanted a 1% or whatever, and that, that's 5,000. And when I was like, no, how much? So I called the guy up. I said, look, I had $1,000 deductible. How much does it cost to get that back? You know how much it was? $21 a year to get my $1,000 deductible back. 21 freaking dollars.
Right. Well, and I think, like when I was saying investors, I mean, I have investors that, they're not cash, they're getting into it. They're still taking a mortgage out. So I'm sure the, ones that have, the cash people maybe don't care so much, but it's getting around that mortgage approval if you're an investor and investing in your, first, second property or whatever.
Okay.
All right. Programming note. Next Thursday, I will not be here. So we're going to cancel. Lynn can't be here either. I'll be traveling back to town. I'm out of town right now. So Thursday, I'll be here Wednesday night, but I won't be here Thursday. Just so you know.
Okay, question. I can try to do it on a Wednesday. Usually Wednesday is the day.
No. We're not going to penalize anybody. No,
Oh,
don't worry.
okay.
No.
Just make it up whenever you can.
Please come if you can on Wednesday night, but if you can't, you can.
What time is it on Wednesdays?
6:30 Eastern.
6:30. Okay.
And we have these slated for 90 minutes, but if it doesn't take 90 minutes, that's okay too. Sometimes so. Like, we're not going to keep you here another 17 minutes if there's nothing to talk about. You've all got lines to get to.
Anybody else? Anything? All right, well, I'm going to go to the pool.
Well, you enjoy.
I have to enjoy it. I can move to West Palm on Saturday. We moved to West Palm on Saturday, so I'm in the middle of the state right now. So
enjoy.
I'm a little.
Did you get
jealous.
to Epcot?
Not yet. We're going to go on, I think, on Saturday.
Oh, there you go. Good. All right.
No, Friday. Yeah, Friday. We're going to go Friday. Tomorrow. What is today? Yeah, Thursday. The days just gel.
Yeah.
Run around with my shorts and flip flops. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next week on Wednesday if you're around.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Take care.
Don't leave tired.
Shakira just
saw you
popped. She
call
called
me
me
and-
when we were on the phone.
I'm sorry, guys. I forgot about the Thursday. I totally forgot. I said Todd's probably at the pool already. That's what I said.
Well, that's where he's headed. So make it
That's
quick.
right. There you go. So you better get on the stick, girl.
So this may be a dumb question, but I just got an inquiry for 149. He's
Mhm.
asking about VA. His client is VA.
Is it insured with escrow?
Yes.
No, won't work.
Dang it. Okay.
No. I mean, if they'll give you the lender's telephone number and reach out to the lender and see if they can possibly do this.
Mhm.
But most VA, if there's any repairs that are needed, they are required to be done by the seller,
Mhm.
and HUD doesn't do any repairs.
Right, okay. Okay, I can do that. Dang it.
But you can also get the lender's name and say, hey, do you have any programs that might work, or VA has it changed? I don't know,
Okay. Dang it. All right, that was it. I thought so, but I just wanted to try.
Okay.
No, I want you to get that damn thing sold. See if there's any other type of program out there for them. I don't know. Maybe VA has some type of a program like that now, but they didn't before.
Right.
And I haven't done a VA in so long. It's been a while.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna email him back right now. Just to see.
Cool. Yeah, get it sold. Damn it.
I'm trying. I said, let me call Todd with the quickness. I know he on vacation, but I'm gonna tell him, let's not laugh. Let's just talk and answer this question real fast.
Did you see Michael? He got back with us on the work order.
I did. I real quick. He probably not that busy no more, but he was, because it's still. I went over there. Yes, when was that? Maybe a couple days ago, a few days ago, and it was not. Yesterday, I went yesterday, so I had to do my PIP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not yet, but we'll see.
I like your photo with your finger pointing. It's over there.
Right, it's there. It's right there. You see it? It's right there. Todd, I'm not laughing with you. I told you I wasn't gonna laugh at you today, so you can get your butt to the pool.
That was too funny. I saw that photo and I busted out laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh Jesus, it's over there, damn it!"
Can you see it? Not in the back of the house. It's over there across the freaking pond. So, but anyways, hopefully they'll get it. And I'm gonna reach out to this agent. Hopefully I can get something going with this client and get this sold as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, VA may have made some changes, but any experience in the past that I've had with VA, if there are repairs needed, the seller has to make them,
Right.
unless they change that.
Okay. All right. Also, is it allowed for the agent to take so long on this other property once the docs are out for signatures? Because I don't have any correspondence on 132.
What do you mean?
They haven't complete signatures to execute.
Who's left?
I can't see it. I don't know.
What? Wait a minute. Did they give you the EMD?
Yes.
Well, what the hell's going on? They gave you the EMD.
I have no idea. That's why I was asking you last night. Is there any way for me to like see what the heck is going on without having to call the agent every second?
What did we get something today on that?
No, all I got is late calls.
I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta head back.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, honey. Bye.
Todd, don't focus on this. I didn't come on here for that. You're gonna get all focused and now you're gonna not go to the pool.
If they did not, my point is, where I'm going with this is this. Anybody who's got an accepted bid and there's items left to be taken care of, we get a notification. I got one for Alabama. I got one for Arkansas and Alabama. So we didn't get anything for you. So since we didn't get anything for you, my best guess is that they've signed. Everybody signed, and we're just waiting on the executed contract.
Okay.
Because they send these notifications out. They do every day.
Okay. Maybe I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first time and I'm trying to.
No, I understand. No, I get it. It's all good.
Okay.
But if we don't get these notifications, then then no, we're good. We're golden.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, maybe tomorrow, and maybe I can get this, the EMD over to the office, so.
Yeah, usually, yeah, they send, something saying EMD, send to EMD or whatever,
Okay. All right. Thank you, Todd, so much. Have fun at the pool. Get you a nice tan. Don't put you some sunscreen on your shoulders. Don't get your shoulders burnt because everything.
I usually sit in the shade anyway.
In
Even
the
when I go to the beach, I sit under the
shade.
umbrella.
No, you cannot sit in the shade. It's for the sun.
No, hell no, no, I don't do that. I go tip my toe in the water and come back and sit in the shade. I still get really dark.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
my wife hates it.
For you to get a tan?
Yeah, I'm part Indian. I got some
Really?
Indian in me.
Really?
So I get dark.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you ought to see me in the summertime.
Well, I'll get to see you in the summertime. But swim for me, have fun, relax. Don't think about HUD, okay?
No, but if I can, like I said, there's shit that goes on, we got to take care of it. That's what we do. So,
Okay. I'll call in if I need to.
all right,
Bye, Todd.
take care. Thanks.